Welcome to this video review, and I'm going to talk about Tier 1 long monoblock mounts. First of all, I would like to explain why we have a separate video for the short monoblock mounts made by Tier 1 and why we have this video for long monoblock mounts for Tier 1. So what is the difference? Difference is in the rings design. So the total length of these mounts is completely the same. As you can see here, the length is completely the same. But the short mount, the short monoblock mounts, they have a wider rings. So the rings on the short option are 26 millimeters, while on the long version are 19 millimeters. So why this difference? On short action rifles, you're not able to move the whole setup, the whole mount forward or rearward. So on those rifles which have a really short Picatinny, you need a long mount so that you're able to move the scope inside between the rings to get the proper eye relief. And normally you have smaller rings on this monoblock mounts, but you have more freedom to position the scope in a way that you get an appropriate eye relief. Okay, now when this is clear, and now in this video we are reviewing only the long monoblock mounts. So first couple of words about Tier 1. So Tier 1 is a company based in UK. They were formed in 2008. I remember them when they came to, I think, EVA 2010 or 2011. They were producing mounts only at that time, really nice, and they had a different name, I think. They were called Third Eye Tactical at that time. They changed the name due to practical reasons, because when you have tactical in your name, then everything what you do, and if you ship it outside of your country, gets inspected and so on, because people assume that you're doing I don't know what. The reality is, if you're producing scope mounts, and especially such a high quality scope mounts as Tier 1, you don't want to have any kind of obstacles on your way. And this proved quite well, because honestly speaking, now they're among biggest producers of scope mounts in Europe. And it's not hard to find why, because they produce really high quality, great products. All of their products, all of these scope mounts are made out of really high quality aluminum alloy. I think it's 7075 T6, the aircraft grade aluminum. Like, to be completely frank, also other high quality manufacturers of tactical scope mounts use the same material. So this is the material that cannot go wrong anything with it. The warranty of this mounts is 2 years, even though we didn't have a single warranty complaint with any Tier 1 products ever in the last 7-8 years since we are selling them. So this also speaks about the quality. The ring design is 50% up, 50% below, so they're split exactly at half point, which is again normal for tactical rings. When you look at this mounts, you see there is really a lot of some additional processes, milling processes, to lower the weight, so they're as light as possible. And honestly speaking, for a monoblock mount, they really are very light. The torque values are also written on them, and this is something extraordinary. This is something what others don't do, unfortunately. So the base torque value, this is for those 4 screws here, is 4 Newton meters. And then for the upper screws here, it's 2 Newton meters. I do know that even if you apply 2.3 Newton meters on them, it will still work well. And on base models, you can go all the way up to 5 Newton meters and it will still work. Each mount has an engraving of inclination. So this is a 0 MOA mount option. This is a 20.6 or 6 mils inclination model. You can see it here. So if you have a straight base, 0 MOA, and want to shoot a little bit longer, at longer ranges, this is the option to go for, 20 MOA. Okay. They used to have rings, not rings, screws made out of titanium. They now switch back to steel because they see that the steel works better than titanium. And honestly speaking, since they're one of the most affordable tactical monoblock mounts on the market, I don't see why they would need to have titanium screws on them if they see that steel works equally well. Okay, I think I can go through all the height options and diameter options. So they produce these rings in all diameters, all the way from 30 millimeters to 40 millimeters. So, and all options in between. As you can see, I'm putting all in the same direction because they have this Mirage Band option on all of them. So you're able to connect your Mirage Band here, and then on the other part at the beginning of the barrel, and on the other side you have all of these mounts have inserted bubble level. So like I said, they're produced in 30 millimeters, 34 millimeters, 35 millimeters, 36 millimeters, and 40 millimeters. So in all diameters that you could wish for. I think 1 inch nobody would buy this monoblock, or at least not enough people would buy such monoblock mounts for 1 inch scope, but everything else is covered. They also, all of these options come in 2 different heights. So all the way from 30 millimeters to 36 millimeters, all the options have 15 millimeter is the lower option, and then 21 millimeter, the build height, is the higher option. I think we have here only 21 millimeter options, you see. This is measured from the top of the Picatinny rail to the bottom of the scope. This measurement was enforced, or how to say, is used since times when there were only producers of hunting scope mounts, like Ernest Appel or Recknagel or similar, Henneberger and similar, mostly German manufacturers. And it's still in use, widely spread today, even though some manufacturers are switching to a dimension between the center of the scope tube and between the center of the scope tube and the top of the Picatinny. But on our webpage, because we have a lot of hunting scope mounts, still we use a unified measurement of build height from here to here. So the only option here that doesn't have 15 and 21 millimeter heights is the 40 millimeter rings. They come in 14 and 19 millimeter height. So the other variation which you can choose is that you are able to have a 0 MOA option for each height and each diameter, or you can have a 20 MOA option. You can see written here 20 MOA. So basically quite a lot of mounts. Okay, I think I came to the point where I can do a summary, where I can go through the likes and dislikes of these mounts and what I think about them. So I usually start with the sour, with the dislikes, and there are not many dislikes here, honestly speaking. My only dislike is that there is not enough of height options. 15 and 21, I would really prefer if 10 would be the starting point, and then 15, and then let's say 18, and then 21. So there will be a little bit more variety of options regarding the height. I also think that Tier 1 is also giving you this information as medium or low, medium, high, extra high. They should put this information out in millimeters or inches, but just in some kind of units of measurement, not in words. It would be much easier for a lot of people to understand which mount to buy, which mount to choose. And this is basically my only dislike. What I really do like about this mount, first of all, is the build quality, the amount of work and effort put into these mounts, the price. The price is really affordable. When you look at all the competing mounts, these are more affordable, and the quality is just wow. It's really, really good. I also like the packing. Together with each mount, you're getting a really nice box with Torx inserts for the screwdriver and a nice small tool which you're able to use when you put the scope in to level the scope so that you have a, if you look at it like this, so that you have a perfect leveling. It's hard to see on the camera, but I think you can understand how it goes. This tool offers you the ability that you level really 100% correctly at the belly of the part where the scope has the turrets. And this way you're getting 100% sure that your reticle is leveled with the rail. So this is one thing which I like with these mounts. I also like that the torque values are written on them. So that you know 4 Newton meters for the base, 2 Newton meters for the rings. I like the fact that they have this hole here where you can attach your Mirage band for all those F-class shooters out there, because some people use these mounts also on F-class rifles, not only on tactical rifles. I like the fact that each mount has inserted bubble level. Okay, one additional dislike maybe, apart from BH heights, there is no way to connect anything on top of these rings. You have to buy a separate ring with a Picatinny rail on top where you can connect something on it. Other have additional points of connection on the rings. Normally this would increase the price. I understand that Tier 1 is really affordable for what you're buying, but still it would be a nice addition. So as you're able to see, really a lot of likes, not many dislikes. And if you're in the market for tactical monoblock mounts, definitely Tier 1 is one brand to think about it. Normally among others, which are also high quality, but each one of them has some kind of unique proposition why to choose them. And Tier 1 is no exception to this rule, and their game is really strong. Thank you for watching, and hope that you like our videos. See you in the next video, and if you like our channel, please subscribe.